Have you ever felt this? You're pouring your heart into making great content, but your channel, it just isn't growing. It feels like you're shouting into a black hole. Well, let's get to the bottom of this, because I promise you, the reason your channel is stuck is probably not what you think it is.
And see, this is the thing that trips up almost everyone. We automatically think low views mean our content is bad. But that's not it. The real problem is a mismatch. Your videos are being shown to people who were never going to be your audience to begin with. And that one little problem creates this huge domino effect of bad signals. So, let's talk about what that mismatch actually looks like. What are the symptoms you're probably feeling right now when the wrong people are finding your videos?
Sound familiar? The right people aren't clicking because the topic or title just doesn't grab them. And if the wrong people do click, they're gone in a few seconds because it wasn't what they thought it would be. That leads to low watch time, low engagement, and when the platform sees all of this, it just quietly stops showing your video to people. It's a really frustrating cycle to be stuck in.
Okay, so here's the most important takeaway of this whole thing. If you have a small channel, your goal is not growth. You need to stop chasing growth and start chasing clarity. This is the big mindset shift. Because if you can get crystal clear on your audience, growth isn't something you have to fight for anymore. It just happens.
Let's really redefine what success even looks like here. What is a perfect audience, really? I'll give you a hint. It has nothing to do with how big the crowd is. It's all about the quality of the connection.
This chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? We've been trained to chase the myths, the millions of views, the viral hit, that explosive growth. But the algorithm, it's looking for the reality. It wants to see that the right people are clicking, that those people are actually staying to watch, and, this is the big one, that they trust you enough to come back for more. That's a perfect audience, even if it's just 100 people. And this really gets to the core of how the system thinks. The algorithm's #1 job is to reduce uncertainty. When it can confidently predict that a certain type of person is going to love your video, it feels safe showing it to more and more of those people. Predictability, that's the key. That's what unlocks everything.
So this is the question every single new creator asks, right? If the whole system wants predictability, why does everything feel so completely chaotic and random when you're just starting out? It feels like you're just rolling the dice with every upload.
Well, that feeling of randomness isn't actually chaos. It's a very logical learning process. You have to remember, when you start, the system has zero data on you. Nothing. So it has to experiment. It shows your video to a bunch of different people just to see what sticks. It's basically a detective gathering clues. Who clicked? Who stayed? Who left? The mistake we make is we try to appeal to all those different groups at once, which just confuses the detective and makes it take way longer to solve the case of who your audience is.
Okay, so if the algorithm is basically a student trying to learn, how can we be a better teacher? The good news is you have way more control than you think. Let's break down the 5 super clear signals you can send to teach the algorithm exactly who your content is for.
These are your levers. These are the 5 things you have total control over. And each one is a message, a signal you send to the system. When all 5 of these signals are pointed in the same direction, you create this incredibly powerful, unmistakable identity for your channel that the algorithm can't ignore.
First up is topic consistency. Think about it this way. Every time you upload a video on a totally random topic, you are literally hitting the reset button on the algorithm's brain. It has to start learning all over again. But when you consistently show up for the same viewer, talking about the same kinds of problems or curiosities, you just reinforce that pattern over and over, making it so much easier for the system to find your people.
All right, next up, your title and your thumbnail. You need to stop thinking of these as clickbait tools and start thinking of them as audience filters. Your goal is not to get every click, it's to get the right click. A clear title and an honest thumbnail make a specific promise. If you break that promise, the wrong person clicks. They leave right away, and that sends a huge negative signal that just kills your video's momentum. And finally, what happens after the click is just as important. Those first 15 seconds are everything. You have to immediately prove to the viewer that they made the right choice by clicking. Make them feel seen. And then, by keeping your video format, your pacing, your length, your overall structure consistent from video to video, you build that all-important predictability. The system learns what to expect, and more importantly, so does your ideal viewer.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds like a lot, especially when you feel like you're talking to an empty room. But I want to completely reframe that for you. Having a small channel is not a weakness.
Right now, it is your single greatest strategic advantage. Look, when you're small, you have this incredible freedom. You can experiment, you can pivot, you can learn so fast about who you're actually talking to and what they really want. Big channels are like these giant cruise ships. They take forever to turn. But you're a nimble little speedboat. Your job right now isn't to scale to the moon. It's to discover who you are.
Let's just focus on one number, 100. That's it. Forget a million subscribers. If you can't figure out how to consistently delight an audience of just 100 people, if you can't get them to click, stay, and come back for more, then getting a million views isn't going to fix your problem. It's only going to make it a million times bigger. So focus on perfecting the experience for your first 100 true fans.
And how do you know if you're on the right track? You look for these signs. These are the little clues that show up before the big subscriber boom. Your click-through rate stops being all over the place and starts to stabilize. Your watch time is less of a roller coaster, and the comments, they go from cool video to really specific, relevant conversations. This is the proof that the system is finally understanding you. Growth stops feeling like a lottery, and it starts feeling earned.
So to wrap this all up, remember this. You don't build a perfect audience by just working harder or uploading more videos. You build it by becoming clearer. When the system and your viewers understand exactly who you are and who you're for, growth becomes the natural next step. So the question you should leave with tonight isn't how can I grow faster? It's how can I be clearer?